Alex Rodriguez, he is here at Fox today. 22 Major League Baseball seasons, most Grand Slams in history, 3 MVPs. Okay, so I am watching. The late John Madden used to always say, if it sounds like a big game, put it on TV. We said this. I said this in the middle of the season. I know I'm a baseball casual. I said, keep your eye on Philadelphia. They hit for power. This is a team with playoff experience. Atlanta, Philadelphia, this could be one for the ages. So kind of a takeaway. To me, these feel like loaded teams, experienced teams. I don't know who I like. Philadelphia, by the way, is one of the craziest crowds. I mean, those Philly home games are nuts. What do you make of it? Atlanta, a dominant team, scuffing a little bit here.
Yeah, what's up, Colin? What's up, Jason? How you doing, man? You know, the thing that you got to look at is you play 192 games if you're the Braves. They haven't played a competitive game probably since June. They've been that dominant. But now you take an entire week off after playing 192, and they were sleepwalking game one. They were sleepwalking halfway through that game, and somewhere they woke up, and that's where Philly has to be careful. They may have let them back into the series because you have to reset when you lose all your mojo for a whole week sitting at home.
So in football and basketball, buys and time off tend to help. But baseball, it's different. You want to get in the cage. Take yourself, for example, 4 or 5 days off. I'm going to go to Miami. Okay, you're twiddling your thumbs. I want to get back in the cage. Do you think, I think baseball now, Ken Rosenthal had an article on this, is this the way to do it? But I do think better teams should benefit. Right? Like, yeah. What do you do? The fact that wild card teams may have an advantage not having time off.
100%. And look, a week feels more like 2 months in baseball. Baseball's an everyday game. You play 6-7 days a week. You take a week off, you have to go find your swing. You have to go find your release point.
Like golf.
And simulated game means nothing. Okay, that's why you need baseball people in the room. It's not like playing October baseball. To go from a simulated game with nobody in the building to playing in that environment in Philly, which may be the best environment in baseball. Now, here's what I'll tell you, Colin. Not all weeks are created equal. You take a veteran team like Jeter, Big Papi, me. We're old. We need that time off. We can deal with it. Your young team like Baltimore, it's a week is like 10 months because the phone starts ringing. It's like having a field goal and having a timeout and icing them. Or at the free throw line, too much time for a team like Baltimore, and you've seen that in experience.
So the Dodgers, listen, it was interesting. They moved off some pieces. Kershaw gets a 1-year deal. He's getting older. I felt like all year, it's not that they scaled back, but it feels like they're setting up their bank account for Ohtani, right? And so I look at the Dodgers and I think this kind of felt inevitable. You know, Arizona got the pitching. Dodgers didn't hit. I don't look at it as a failed season. It's not over yet, but couldn't you, I mean, you see a lot of Dodger games. Couldn't you kind of predict that Atlanta's hot, Philadelphia World Series experience? There are times, even in your career, you kind of feel like we don't quite have the pieces for a playoff run.
Yeah, look, the Dodgers have been the class of baseball for the last 10 years. If this is their year to reset and they still win almost 100 games, they still make it to the playoffs, the Dodgers are not going anywhere. And look, they've had some tremendous injuries. Now, you can't give up 9 runs in the first inning in game 1 and 2. 6 and 3, this is not going to work. The other thing is you can't walk 16 batters for the Rangers and think you're going to win when the Rangers don't need any help. They're already the best offense in baseball. 16 walks in 2 games doesn't work. But listen, I think Arizona now believes they're as good as a Dodger, if not better. And you can make an argument that Arizona may be the hottest team. And you don't need to be the best team. You need to be the healthiest and the hottest. And right now, Arizona looks like they are.
So it was an interesting year in the American League where it wasn't the Yankees and the Red Sox. That's sort of been embedded the last 20 years in the sport. The Hot Stove League used to just be the Yankees and the Red Sox bidding for guys. You know that very, very well. Now here come the Rays, who always about every 3rd or 4th year, they must scout very well. The Orioles get all those draft picks. They hit on several. I mean, it was a different year in the American. Here, the Twins now are viable. You know, are they pretenders? Of all these new teams, is there one you're like, I mean, Baltimore was the talk of baseball for about 3 months. We saw Kansas City, though, with Ned Yost. They had a great year or two, then they disappear. Do you buy any of these new teams now, the Twins, the Orioles? What do you buy?
Well, I'm buying that. I don't believe the Astros are going to go home until they're actually beat in the coffin and, like, literally put in the funeral. Right. They're that good. Right. And they're the experienced team, right? When you think about, and they have a dynasty, they're in the middle of it. Through all the controversy, they have an owner in Jim Crane that played college baseball, that he is a little bit like Jerry Jones, where he is the owner and also the GM. He's the smartest guy in the organization. They run a wonderful business, and they run a wonderful baseball operation. The Twins is a team to watch, and I'll tell you why. They have two aces in Lopez and Sonny Gray that'll pitch today, and they have two world-class guys on the left side of the infield. Both of them number one picks, divided by 5 years, Correa and Royce Lewis. Two absolute studs. And Correa is a prime-time player.
Yeah, Houston guy.
And when he's healthy, he's top 5 best talents in the world.
Okay, so when you come on, we have to ask you a Yankee question. The Yankees are like the Cowboys, a legendary brand. I always feel like, as a guy that they're 3,000 miles away, it feels like it's been the same guys running it. Brian Cashman, who is a very likable guy. Mm-hmm. But there are those that say it's like Belichick in New England, Jerry Jones with the Cowboys. Too much power. We need a new set of eyes and ears. When you look at the Yankees, it's hard to manage. Mm-hmm. I mean, it is that batting cage has 26 people around it. Mm-hmm. It's not the same way in San Diego. It's just not. You've been around it. Little things become big things. Is it time to new eyes, new perspective, new culture? What do you make of where the Yankees are at today?
Well, they're backed themselves into a corner, and they did this when Stanton came on board, because it was 9 years at close to $300 million, the exact same player as Judge is, just not as healthy, and then they tripled up and put in Gallo. Look, I think here's what I think. I think it's hard to win in Major League Baseball. There's no question. The Red Sox in the last 16 years have 4 championships, though. Astros keep going back and forth. The Dodgers are consistent. You're going to have some years off in this, but here's, Colin, what I would say. Hal Steinbrenner, A+. He spent all the resources. He keeps investing into that roster. Yeah. Aaron Boone is helpless. I think he's done a really nice job with what he's had. Here's what I think is, I think the fan base has lost complete faith in the architecture of this team.
I do too.
And it's not just missing, but it's by how far they miss. And I just think that until Gene Michaels, the minute he's gone, it's gone downhill. Gene Michael was the real genius of the 4 championships. He was very helpful in 2009. He hasn't been around, and it's just gone a one-way ticket the other way. And until they bring in baseball people into that room and less analytics, I think Moneyball today is losing ball.
Why?
Because you got to have baseball people that know how to play baseball. I mean, when was the last time you saw a Yankee team that's always been left-hand dominant with 9 righties against a righty? I've never seen that. Like Stick Michaels always wanted lefty, switch hitters, Posada, Bernie Williams, Johnny Damon, Derek Jeter, left, right, athletic, speed, defense, pitching, bullpen. You have none of that.
Clayton Kershaw got it was a rough outing. He always struggled in the 7th, but he got boxed here in the 1st. There were some comparisons early to Koufax. He still, on any given day in the regular season, can go 7 innings and be masterful. What is his legacy to you?
I think you're going to put Clayton Kershaw as one of the top, 3 best pitchers of our generation. I mean, he is cemented of our generation, and it's because the longevity. He got the championship in 2020. He's got the Cy Youngs. He's done it with one team, and he's done it in one of the biggest markets on the planet.
A lot of pressure,
right?
games.
A lot of pressure. And here's a young man who does a lot in the community, has never got himself in trouble. He's the gold standard for pitchers. And a game like Game 1 is going to really do nothing to his legacy. The Dodgers should not be depending on Kershaw to win a championship this year. He's an additive, but he's no longer the Kershaw that needs to be the number 1 guy.
Right.
He can be the 3 or the 4 and go from there. But he's got a 1-year deal. He's not that guy anymore.
By the way, if I had to guess, you said he's one of the 3 pitchers of our generation. I'm just going to guess. Mm-hmm. Kershaw, Verlander, Pedro.
That's fair. That's fair.
Is that not pretty good? I'm a Mariner fan. I don't think we got 2 hits off Pedro for a decade.
That's true.
You know that.
Yeah.
Couldn't get no. And Verlander, I mean, he reinvented himself.
He's a stud.
He really is, isn't
he? And he gets better with age. Sometimes, some of these guys, Jamie Moyer got 100 wins after the age of 38. I mean, some guys figure it out late, right? And Verlander's one of them. And he's a stud. He's in tremendous condition.
All right, Fox Sports, he's got to go. It's A-Rod. We always appreciate you stopping by when you're in the room. We always appreciate this. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.